now.
Being nice, that's a trap. Bitches get stuff done, that's a fact. Unapologetic on the attack.
Hey bitches, it's Heather coming to you from Des Moines, Iowa.
And I am Blythe coming to you from Bargersville, Indiana.
And I think this is our 7th episode of Bitches Get Stuff Done. We're starting to get the hang of it.
Woohoo!
We still have a lot of kinks to work out, and we are asking for help. So if anybody has help to offer us, we're happy to take it. We do have some people that are working on getting us more professionally squared away so that we can bitch about politics and tell you how to get active in your area. So This is the Wednesday edition. I should have this up by Thursday at the latest. We do just have a few things to go over, what's happened lately, and they're big. They're few, but they're huge, gigantic even. So I'm gonna let you start out, Blythe, with what you have on your agenda for what you want to talk about for politics this past couple of days.
There's so much. Well, there's a lot happening in Indiana. We'll touch on that toward the end. But I feel like we have some very small glimmers of hope happening. I don't like violence. I don't like destroying the environment, but having Teslas catch on fire, I don't know that I believe that we did that, but Elon's pretty sad about it. And then Alberta, Canada, I believe, and their car show just kicked Tesla out. His stock prices keep falling. The Trump derangement syndrome a-hole from Minnesota got arrested because he is a fucking pedophile. Family values. And there is a cop in my area who in January, it was so after the election, and I think it was right after the inauguration, put up a Trump 2024 sign. I was fucking livid. And it's someone who I thought I liked him. And then there was a house not too far from his that put up a "Don't Tread on Me" flag. Right afterwards, I'm like, God, you mother, I'm so pissed. The "Don't Tread on Me" flag and the Trump 2024 flag are now gone. Now, we've had a lot of wind, so there's a small chance it was the wind. I don't think it is.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. We just went through a lot of stuff. Let me give you my opinion on the Tesla thing first. This is what I think. I think Democrats / liberals are just not that crafty. We would totally get caught. We're bad at criming. So I don't think that it's our side catching these things on fire. The best people at criming are people like Donald Trump. He's amazing at criming and getting away with it. We can't get away with that. So I think that the dealerships might be catching their stuff on fire for the insurance money. That would be my guess.
That I was kind of wondering that too. This seems a little weird because we are inherently environmentalists. I mean, that's part of the liberal platform, right? Well, if you burn an electric vehicle or a battery, you can't actually put that fire out. So why would you do that? And why would you do it on an empty car lot when no one's even there? It was kind of weird. It was weird, but I think it's telling. And then Chief Justice Roberts, even though the a-hole voted apparently to allow Trump to have immunity, made a statement. We still have judges actively fighting back against Trump nonsense. It's not a lot, but it is something.
So let's back up on that one. So there was a judge who said Trump had to turn those planes around that had the Honduran prisoners, or I'm sorry, Venezuelan prisoners. Is it Venezuelan prisoners going to Honduras, right?
I think they were going to El Salvador.
I don't know.
Venezuelan, someone from South America going to someone in Latin America, I think.
Yes. Either way, they have not had any due process. None of them. We don't know if they're actually criminals. We don't know if they're just people that I think a lot of them were actually on visas or on asylum suites. So they were here legally. And he just swooped them up and put them on these planes and sent them to a foreign prison. And we're paying that government to keep those prisoners for us. And so the judge said, no, you need to bring that plane back. And they just defied that order. So now the judge is having a heart to heart with the council. And Trump has been tweeting they need to be impeached. And so I believe that's what Roberts was responding to. Very unusual. Roberts does not usually put out statements ever. But for whatever reason, I guess now all of a sudden he's decided that courts are a good thing, that separation of powers are a good thing. But the fact that he defied that order that he just ignored. That court order is terrifying. That means that we have stepped it up a level, and he is actively breaking down the third branch of power. And what are they going to do? How are they going to punish him? They're not going to do anything. If they put his counsel in prison or in jail for contempt of court, he'll just pardon them and they'll be out. And that'll go for every kind of criming that his people do. He'll just pardon them. They'll be out. They can commit crimes on his behalf. I don't know how we get out of this. Even with John
We don't
Roberts all of a
either.
sudden getting a conscience. It's too late. John Roberts, this ship has sailed, bro, and you helped it sail. You pushed it off the deck.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the Tesla board members came out and said that Elon needs to be kicked off. They need to replace him. And it's about fucking time. Like, they had to have been thinking this for a long time.
I would think so. Yeah. If it was anybody else in the whole world, he would have been gone a long time ago. I saw Tim Walz said he had put the NASDAQ app on his phone so that he could look at Tesla and just bring himself happiness to see how it's tanking. I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. That was bringing me happiness.
It was pretty smart. I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty smart.
I like this Tim Walz. I like this snarky, petty Tim Walz.
I mean, that's what we need at this point, right? And we need voices from our candidates, our elected officials, our party leadership, pushing back and doing something.
Yeah. Fortunately, Chuck Schumer has been getting a lot of shit. I don't see him I don't see him actually stepping down from his leadership position. All these old people think, well, this place wouldn't exist without me. They're all so full of themselves. And I mean, look how long it took Nancy Pelosi to step down. And she's like 700 years old and she had a broken hip recently. So, I don't see Chuck stepping down on his own behest. He had to be pushed out. And I think that there are too many wishy-washy milquetoast Democrats at this point to really push him out. It's definitely a problem with the party.
It is
different leadership. We need more excitement. We need people who are willing to fight.
Yeah. Well, we're having our own, and I mean, we've seen this happening for a while, right? There's like the moderate, let's be friends left, and then there's the far left. Like, no, this has gone on too much. We are socialists. Let's do this. Don't be dumb. We are only socialists for billionaires right now, and that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, the big welfare queens are the billionaires. They're the ones getting all of our tax money.
They are.
And I don't even know how much Elon Musk has gotten in our tax money. Billions and billions in our tax money.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's trying to say that $1,100 a month is too much for impoverished people on Social Security. Absolutely bananas.
It's not enough. No one can live on that.
I know, right? That's how much my mom got before she passed. It was $1,100 a month. There's no way to live on that.
No.
And because she got that amount, she got $7 a month for food stamp benefits because she made too much. These are not sustainable plans for our social safety net and for our elderly or for our disabled. Anybody who's downtrodden in any way, it's not sustainable. At some point, we are going to have to, in fact, eat the rich. We won't have any other food.
Yeah. I'm vegan, but I mean, I'll eat them.
Take the protein.
They need to get out of here.
I'm not usually a cannibal either, so we're even.
Well, we'll just do it. Put some salt on them and call it a day. So I think that might have been. I feel like there's something else national news that I just heard. There's always so much. It's unreal.
There's always something.
Absolutely unreal. Oh, there was someone in January, a U.S. citizen born in Chicago who got picked up on January 21st by ICE. He was arrested, driven around for an hour or so with other people, kept in handcuffs for several hours. No, they didn't allow him to explain that he is an American citizen born in Chicago. Let him go with no money, wouldn't let him call anybody, no documentation of this. They just picked him up off the street. He was handing out his resume to local businesses.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that one. My God.
I just heard about it while I was scrolling through. I saw it on Aaron Parnas.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's impossible to keep up with it all.
Oh, absolutely.
Here in this state, if you want to switch to state politics, we
Yes.
are in the middle of our state legislature, as most states are, and there's just no good legislation. Every single piece of legislation is either, and even the benign stuff is still horrible. Like one thing that's amazing, it's a great piece of legislation, is that states going to require schools to carry feminine hygiene products. Great, they're going to put them in all the bathrooms. Fantastic, wonderful, but they're not funding it. So you're going to require this, but you're not going to put any money toward it. So whatever you're putting into the school budget, which they have not figured out yet because they just don't want to. This is way overdue. They were supposed to figure this out like a month ago. But whatever they put in for the budget, they now have to pay for feminine hygiene products because that's what the legislature made as a law. So every single piece of legislation is either horrible or just, nah, just not even benign, not even like lame, but maybe good legislation, but they find a way to make it horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got debate all week this week. There wasn't anything crazy today. I believe that tomorrow, I think there's going to be a lot of anti-gay legislation that they're debating. Again, it's kind of what they do. It's who they are. Not a
We
bunch of
have
bullshit.
a Senate bill, SB1, which is trying to lower property taxes, which really hurts our municipalities more than anything and our schools.
Ours
And
is
then
doing
we
that too.
have, yeah, Senate Bill 518. There's a trans house bill that they were talking about today. They want to make sure that trans women can't compete in athletes. Well, that's already an NCAA rule. And also, we're talking about less than 0.1%. Like,
Mhm.
this is,
Yeah, they're
they're
making them a
so,
scapegoat to
yes, yes,
to
they
deflect
are.
from all of the horrible shit they're doing and to
Yep.
divide us.
And yesterday, we have one of our IPS school bills. They're trying to essentially defund IPS schools and turn them into charter schools, but the charter schools would get public money. Well, when you do
That's what's
that, of
here.
course, you get rid of the arts. So they had they had their paperwork. They had a rally in the state house during the lunch hour. They were told they could go throughout the state house, and they were playing music because it was a bunch of music teachers, like classically trained musicians and music teachers trying to support the arts and like try to fight this bill. Well, our asshole lieutenant governor, extreme Christian nationalist dickface McGee, Micah Beckwith, had his rally, his people show up early. They were supposed to be from noon to 1. Micah's was supposed to start at 1. He had them show up early. They
Mm-hmm.
were yelling at the music teachers. They're yelling at music teachers, like school teachers. Just calling them all sorts of things and being aggressive, blocking the stairway after they tried to kick them out of the level that they were on. And then they arrested one of the people on the teacher's sides.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow. This sounds
Yep.
exactly like how I was arrested.
It
Very
is
similar.
almost exactly how you were arrested. So we'll have to make sure. Oh, that is what you should talk about next, is your news about your
Oh,
arrest.
yeah. I haven't told anybody outside of my circle. So my chapter leaders know and my family knows that nobody else knows this information. And depending on how many people listen to this podcast, you're in the know. um, so, so we got body cam footage yesterday. Our attorney forwarded it to us, and it's very dense. It's hours and hours of it. But we've only got 3 police officers who actually we have their body cam footage, but there were almost 40 cops at at the Capitol, when we were protesting. And so, we'll just back up real quick. We were at the state capitol on February the 5th, protesting the 50 states, 50 capitals, one day, anti-fascism. Then after we were outside, we came in the Capitol because there was really terrible legislation up for subcommittee committee. So we were going to go to those. But then we came across the Moms for Liberty ladies, and they're the ones that have been banning books in our state. So we sat down in their space, which really pissed off the cops. Now I know that because of the body cam footage. And I knew that people really disliked cops, but I didn't know why until now. Because I've always just been this civilian who's just like, cops are going to come to help us if I need them, right? Oh my God. Once you can actually hear what they say on their body cams, and then they go over to the opposition and say how much they support them and how we need to go to church and how we're so stupid. And they pinpointed me by name, said my name, said the one in the glasses. There was one person with the glass. We know who the person with the glasses is. Said the redhead in the glasses. And by name. There was at no point was I leaving that Capitol without getting arrested. And I just didn't realize that for some reason until yesterday when I started listening to the body cam footage and seeing it. Holy moly. And of course, they had the option to turn off their body cam and their volume. So they had minutes and minutes and minutes, like half an hour each of those cops had time off of their mic. So I have no idea what they said, but I can't imagine it was great just from the stuff they did let me hear. It's so bad that I can't articulate how bad it is. There was not one of those three cops who didn't have something horrible to say. And that's just 3 of 45 or 40. Unbelievable. And of course, I'm sure that my attorney doesn't want me to like release any of it to TikTok yet, but I can't wait. I'm so
Well,
eager.
and they don't understand. They're talking about a military veteran. Like, that's what gets me is like, there should be some sort of camaraderie. First and foremost, don't be a cop if you don't actually intend to keep people safe and protect and serve all people, regardless of political affiliation. I mean, what the actual fuck? Also, like, we know that kind of banter, right? Like, we probably have both partaken in that kind of banter. Is it right? No, but the fuck? Like, these people pay your taxes, dude. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, them saying how, I mean, they were degrading almost every single person in our party. And they
of
were
course.
talking smack about all of us, but of course, all of the other people that were with the Moms for Liberty people, they were A-okay. In fact, one of the cops went up and shook one of the guy's hands with the family leader and says how much he supports him. The family leader is not Moms for Liberty, but it's affiliated. So they believe in gay conversion. They're just awful human beings, absolutely terrible. But that's what I was seeing on this footage. I'm like, holy shit! And remember, they were at first were trying to say that I touched a cop, that I like pushed a cop or something. I was like, I challenge that. I challenge that. And then I kept running it over my head over and over and over. Am I remembering something wrong? No, I'm not. I'm not remembering something wrong. It all happened exactly like I thought it did. We started chanting Nazi, and they arrested us. I mean, it
Yeah.
is that easy. They grabbed me. You could actually hear him on his mic say, "Get that one, grab her," and that was it. I didn't resist. You can see it on the camera. I didn't resist. So they just grabbed my arm and put it behind my back. Oh, did it hurt? I can't even tell you. You can hear me screaming. It was like the banshee. It was so loud, but it really hurt. So I had the bruises to show it. I wasn't making it up, but it's exactly like I thought it was. But it is so horrible. I cannot imagine why they want this to go to trial. I would not want this to go to trial. If I was them, if I saw this footage, I'd say, okay, you win. We drop the charges because it's that bad.
They may not understand what you were able to hear.
And they have it too, right? The prosecution.
Fucking listen to it.
It is a lot. You know, it is not, even my attorney hasn't made all the way through it because it's a lot. You know, you got to sit down and take notes and write when the certain things were said and by whom they were said and then identify everybody. So that takes time. But I know all these people and I know who they are and I don't need to identify them. I know all of them. So I was able to watch it all the way through and just know what was going on. But geez Louise, once they figure out what we've got, oh my God, that poor prosecutor has no idea what he's in for.
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
It's going to
so
be glorious.
July 14th right now is the current date, and they did not change the venue. They just changed the prosecutor. So the prosecutor is coming in from another county. So it will be in Polk County, but the prosecutor will be from, I don't know, different county. So that's what they changed. Regardless, I don't envy that prosecutor. He's got his work cut out for him.
Yeah. And well, you know what? Sounds like karma. I'm sure he wouldn't be on your side even if he weren't the prosecutor.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's all works together, right? They all back up the cops, and the cops back up them. Yeah, but you can't deny what's on those recordings. It's so outrageous. Holy
That's
moly!
so sad. We need a culture shift with our police forces too.
I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Same.
Holy crap!
I mean, it's all so intertwined, and now I understand it's not all cops. I have to say that. Um, I do genuinely think there are some very good um, police officers out there.
Yeah, no, we encountered some when we were protesting at Representative Dunwell's church. We encountered a couple of really great cops. There was one of them that came up to us and asked if we were coming back to follow me. We were, and he said, "Well, why didn't you use your bullhorn?" And I said, "Well, I didn't want to, I didn't want to upset the apple cart and break any of your noise ordinances." And he said, "No, you do you. You make as much noise as you need to. I don't care. You do it." And that was just
See?
one. That was just one cop. The following week, another cop, completely different cop, was like, "Yeah, you use that bullhorn. You just do it." They were great. So not
Yeah.
all cops are that horrible, but I can tell you that the state patrol is filled with assholes. That's who guards the state capitol in Iowa.
Oh.
Fun
Ugh.
times. Fun times. Well, tell us about the protest that's going to happen on the 30th so people can get active.
Yeah, so this is a new one, and I've got some other things that have popped up in Indiana. So I just heard about this. If you don't follow Combat Veteran Against Trump on TikTok, I don't know if he's on the other social media stuff. I really like his content. It, it's so weird because he very much resembles my youngest brother, like in appearance, but also the way he talks. Although my youngest brother voted for Donald Trump. So it's a little hard because I'm like, oh God, like I could see Zach saying this, but that's not him. So I like his content. I like what he has to say. He protests, he does all sorts of things. So anyway, April 30th at the mall. Washington, D.C., from noon to 4. It is a protest against fascism, but should all be all across the country. It doesn't look like right now it's a 50-51 event, but I'm sure it seems like all of these groups are starting to just band together. Like Indivisible is going to be there, 50-51 will be there, like Bitches Get Stuff Done will be there. I might actually be able to be at the DC one, which could be really fucking cool. Um,
Cool.
it would be so cool. But then we've got, well, I guess I'll kind of work backwards. April 5th is another 50-51. Also, of course, a huge one. I think they're trying to get 1 million people in Washington, D.C. for that one. But the one in Indianapolis, I will be speaking at. I know I'm a little nervous, but I'm also very excited.
Yeah, I'll be at
Um,
the one in Des Moines. So anybody coming to the 5051,
Yay!
Bitches Get Stuff Done is very active with that one too.
And then there is a amazing human here in Indiana. An amazing human. Her handle is Alice is King. I just love that I found so many Hoosiers on TikTok. So tonight, right now, is a Todd Young empty chair town hall. So I hope that is going well. The 20th, which is tomorrow, is a hands off our public postal service. Um, APWU, American Postal Workers Union.org has got that information. Definitely Indianapolis, Lafayette, and Maryville are participating. This Friday is an empty chair town hall for Representative Yakum. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's from noon to 1:30 in Mishawaka. Um, Representative Messmer in Evansville. There's an empty town hall on Saturday from 1 to 3. I will post that as well. Evansville Resistance, if anyone is in Southern Indiana, follow them. She is a total badass. Total badass. I love her stuff. Um, Economic blackout for Nestle is March 21st through 28th. And in Indiana, Nestle has a huge, huge manufacturing plant. They take water from Greenwood, Indiana, and bottle it, which is fucking stupid. But they make a lot of stuff. So really pay attention to your stuff because you'd be surprised what Nestle makes. It's not just your bunny rabbit chocolate nonsense. Um, we're also, of course, still protesting Tesla, Meta, Google, Walmart, Amazon, Target, McDonald's, Lowe's, Ford. Do what you can. Like, I know
Right.
you're not going to get rid of all of it. And I saw a thing today. The Apprentice is released on Amazon Prime. So if you still have access to Amazon Prime, go and thumbs down that
Oh, that's a good
for
idea. I do
Prime
have Amazon
Video.
Prime.
Yeah.
Yay.
So go thumbs down The Apprentice. Go fuck yourself, Donald Trump. There is a rally and learn on Saturday, March 22nd in Porter, Indiana at the Visitor Center from noon to 2. There gonna be postcard writing, junior resistors packets, hands-on learning, community building at the Indiana Dunes National Park, which sounds amazing. Um, that one, oh, there's another Fight Like Hell rally to save the postal service on Sunday, March 23rd from 11 to 2. That is information will be at nalc.org. I don't know what that is. The Indianapolis protest time is 1 p.m. at the State House. There is a JVP biweekly rally on March 26th from 5 to 6 in Lafayette. Women's suffrage march on Sunday, March 30th at 3 p.m. at the Evansville Civic Center. Rally for trans lives also on the 30th at 7 p.m. in Lafayette. Of course, we talked about April 5th. There's a Tesla boycott anytime you can during normal business hours. Just don't set anything on fire, homies. Gosh. I still don't think we did that.
We didn't do it.
I don't think we did. There's some other community meetings and things. I asked Alice to send me these documents because she just makes them up and put them out. Like I'm going to put them on our Bitches Get Stuff Done, HoosierBitchesGetStuffDone.org website. So check that out. We've got the governor's mansion, which I mentioned, we're doing those protests I mentioned those on Sunday. Same with town hall. Oh, there's a March 17th from 4 to 5:30, a community cleanup in Kokomo, Indiana, which is I love doing those. We talked about
March
that.
17th, that's already passed, so you missed it.
Oh, oops. JK. Oh my God, how are we that far into the month? Just kidding, just kidding. And last but not least, a community resource social on March 22nd from 5 to 9. It's in Bloomington. Bloomington Pride is hosting it at the IFL building. I don't know what that is, but I imagine if you are in B-Town, you do know what that is. So I'll post all that, except for the one that's gone and passed on my website.
Right. Well, a lot of those protests are happening around the country too. So anything with 5051 is going to be anywhere around the country. So the April 5th thing, anybody who wants to go to that, check your local area. I'm sure that there's something going on in your area if you're close to your state capital. But here in Iowa, we do have, I'm heading to a town hall meeting with Senator Chuck Grassley on Friday morning. And he's not going to be anywhere near here, so it's a 2-hour drive, but I'm still going. But there's so many of these empty chair ones that I wanted to make sure that he's actually going to be there. But that being said, I'm kind of doing a play off of the empty chair thing, and I'm doing my character of Senator Joni Ernst on Saturday at 4 o'clock. It won't be an empty chair. It'll actually be me. And I'll be Joni Ernst with my little wig and my leather coat, and people can air their grievances about how they feel about our senator, who just had her own big smack scandal. So 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 at the Northside Library in Des Moines, Iowa. If you find yourself, we are doing a raffle so that we can raise money for Bitches Get Stuff Done. Anybody who donates $5 gets a ticket, and whomever gets to put a pie in Phony Joni's face. So we're hoping to raise a little money for the cause, and I'm taking one for the team. I've been working on
That is brilliant. Michael wanted to do a Democrat fundraiser where you have those dunk tanks and you just raise money and like have a Democrat stand up there. I was like, that's really smart.
Yeah, I did it. I did dunk Kim Reynolds in my Kim Reynolds outfit for Pride. Oh my God, it raised a decent chunk of change for the Pride organization.
That's amazing.
Wow. So I was like, hi, you suck. I hate you. It's so stupid. For like an hour straight. And an hour in a dunk tank, you have no idea. That's a lot of time because they dunk you so much. And then you have to pull yourself, you're soaking wet. And of course, I have my stupid pink jacket on that she always wears. And so it was like soaked with water. And I got my hair wet the first time. Oh no, my wig. And I pulled myself up. The next day, I was so sore. Oh. I'm not in shape. So I volunteered to do it both days of Pride. And I was like, why do I have to do this today?
But that's so funny.
It is a great idea, especially if you do any silly characters like me. Highly recommend. Anybody who wants to do silly characters and make fun of their local politicians, I could not tell you how fun it is. It's fantastically fun.
I could totally do that. The woman who her name is Susie on the local town council. She does not like me. She's real far extreme MAGA, hates everyone. She would be an easy one to do.
Yeah, I
Oh,
make
we
my
have one
working
on our
council
county
member.
council too. Our
See?
county council has a woman who doesn't even live in Indiana full time. Her husband is a registered sex offender. That's why they both live in Arizona.
Oh my
Crazy
God.
far right MAGA. I know. Got reelected.
Wow. Yeah, no, I go all the way down the ballot. I do Linda Westergaard with my white wig, and she's very robotic. So I do the whole, hello, I am Linda Westergaard, your city council member. She gets so bent out of shape. Oh my God. You wouldn't think that she'd get so mad just because I make fun of her. Oh my God, did she get mad at me? Highly recommend. Get a wig.
I
It's so
love it.
fun.
I love it. That's so funny.
Well, I guess with that, our Wednesday episode, I think, is over, right, Blythe?
Woohoo. Yeah, I cannot think of anything else. I'm sure there are about a million things we've missed, but if it's not in my brain, it doesn't matter right now.
Yep. So if you are listening all the way through to this, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you follow our podcast and share it with all your friends, neighbors, and enemies. And we'll be back on Sunday. I'll probably drop it on Monday at the latest. And go to our website at bitchesgetsstuffdone.org if you're not already on our email list. Thank you so much for
Yes.
listening, guys.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Being nice, that's a trap. Bitches get stuff done.